No one thinks cancer can happen to them or someone they love, but the reality is most of us do know somebody that is struggling with cancer. I would say having sympathy and compassion and understanding is really something that you can support someone with cancer as they're going through treatment and the aftermath of that, because it may seem like things are better, but better is relative to the day and the struggles of the day. So always staying close and making sure that people have the support they need from diagnosis through treatment to the aftermath and getting back on your feet. As a caregiver, I was very angry with the cancer, but always tried to keep optimistic and stay positive. My husband Tom and I had decided that laughter was going to be the best medicine, and some days that helped me as a caregiver because it forced me to cheer myself up and power through some really hard days. I would say though that the role of a caregiver is it was one of my greatest honors in my life, but also one of my greatest challenges. And I think being mindful of caregivers in these situations is incredibly important because they are as well getting burnt out and run down and trying to take care of everyone around them, which can be especially exhausting. Being a caregiver is something I took very seriously and became a huge part of who I was for so many months. It was hard to let that go as Tom was on his recovery. And I say that because you have to find the balance of still caregiving for the person that was ill, but also making sure you aren't doing everything so that they're challenging themselves to get better as well and not using the caregiving as a way to sit back and let things still happen to them. A critical point for my husband's cancer treatment was that while he was in treatment was being done to him. After his treatment, he had to do things for himself. And I had to be a part of that and help make sure that he was able to do that. So it is hard to shed this caregiver skin, but it's so important for a relationship. When he was diagnosed, we went from husband and wife to caregiver and patient, and it was so important to me that we got back to husband and wife so we could regain some of that normalcy and that balance in our relationship. Our church was so important to us during this fight, and my faith especially. I remember emailing our priest that had married us, and I told him about Tom's diagnosis and asked him to say some prayers and keep us in his thoughts, and he wrote me back the most kind letter and said that he was so heartbroken for us and that diagnosis like this can really change people in unimaginable ways, and that it's not always for the worse. And I remember thinking at the time, what an interesting thing to say. And now on the other side of it, it was so incredibly profound because we really have gotten a spotlight on our relationships and really understand and can kind of see who was there for us and who was supporting us. And it really has changed us in unimaginable ways, and also mostly for the better, which is so appreciative. And he's since passed away, but he was such an important role and such a kind man. He sent letters all the time during our treatment and really made sure that we knew that his community, religious order, and our church was behind us 100%. Cancer did take a lot from us, but the only thing that it took that we can't get back is time. Strangely enough, even within some of those terrible times, we have some of our best memories. I can't tell you how many memories I have in a hospital room or a doctor's office that are some of the funniest or happiest memories that I had in that year. So it is a little strange. But what we didn't let cancer take away from us was who we are as people and our nature and how we handled things. And I'm so proud to say that we're on the other side of this with our relationships stronger than ever, our friendships, our family support network stronger than ever. We are incredibly grateful for all of that. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, but there is a element of this cancer fight that put a spotlight on us and our relationship and really challenged us, and I am forever grateful for that. To a person that's a caregiver of somebody in your family with cancer, I would say first, make sure you're taking care of yourself. I ran myself so thin and wasn't taking care of myself because I was focusing all my energy on taking care of my husband Tom during his cancer treatment. And ultimately that wouldn't help us out if I wasn't able to do what I needed to do to help him. So make sure you take care of yourself so you can continue to take care of the person you need to take care of. Secondly, I would say you can only do so much. I remember feeling so incredibly helpless as a caregiver, but I had to remind myself that I was doing every single thing in my power to help get him better, and I had to be okay with that and still, unfortunately, watch the pain and the suffering, but know that everything that I could control, I was taking care of for him.